Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to another video of Chemistry with Harap Sambe. In this video, we're going to look at ions and the type of ions and the electronic configuration of ions. Let's first define what ions are. Ions are charged particles. They are charged particles and are formed when atoms gain or lose electrons. We know that atoms are neutral. They have equal number of protons and electrons. The charges of protons and electrons cancel each other, so atoms are neutral. But ions are charged particles. They don't have equal number of protons and electrons. Ions are of two types. We have either positively charged ions or negatively charged ions. Positively charged ions are also known as cations, and negatively charged ions are also known as anions. When we talk about cations have more protons than electrons. And why do the cations have more protons than electrons? Because atoms have lost electrons. When atoms lose electrons, there are more protons than electrons, and hence it's called a cation or a positively charged ion. When we talk about a negatively charged ion has more electrons than protons. And why would they have more electrons than protons? Because atoms will gain electrons. So I would say atoms will gain electrons. If I look at the periodic table, I'll go up and see the periodic table. From group number 1, so group number 1, group number 2, and this section in the middle called transition elements. This section in the middle is called transition elements, but we looked about transition elements in the future videos. These are all metals. Group 1, group 2, and all transition elements are metals, right? So when we talk about metals tend to lose electrons. So the first thing we need to understand is that why am I saying this statement that metals tend to lose electrons? Metals tend to lose electrons because if I look at the electronic configuration of metals, group 1 and group 2, lithium is a metal, just one electron in its outer shell. So it is easy for lithium to lose one electron rather than gaining 7 electrons. Beryllium, easy for beryllium to lose 2 electrons rather than gaining 6 electrons. Sodium, easy for sodium to lose 1 electron rather than gaining 7 electrons. Magnesium, easier for magnesium to lose 2 electrons rather than gaining 6 electrons. So metals prefer losing electrons. Metals tend to lose electrons. And hence when we talk about the electronic configuration of magnesium, it's going to be magnesium is 24 and 12. So if I write the electronic configuration of magnesium, it's 12 electrons, 282, as I've written in the previous video. And if I write down the electronic configuration of a magnesium cation, because magnesium will lose these 2 electrons, so it will become 2,8. Now magnesium cation has an electronic configuration which is similar to neon, right? And hence it is safe to say that this ion is formed because it wants to achieve noble gas electronic configuration, which is neon in this case, right? Now let's talk about sulfur. Sulfur has an electronic configuration of 286. Now it's not feasible for sulfur to lose 6 electrons, so sulfur would rather gain 2 electrons. So when it gains 2 electrons, it gets a 2 minus charge. So it's gaining 2 electrons. Gain of electrons gives the atom a negative charge. Loss of electrons gives the atom a positive charge. So when sulfur gains 2 electrons, the electronic configuration becomes 2, 8, and 8. Now this electronic configuration is that of argon. If you look at argon is 288. This is neon. Why are atoms losing electrons or gaining electrons? Because atoms want to achieve a noble gas electronic configuration, which is a full outer shell. All atoms want to achieve this configuration because this is the most stable configuration, and hence the formation of ions. So if they ever ask you why are ions formed at the first place, you would say that atoms want to achieve noble gas electronic configuration, which is a full outer shell, and since this is a stable form, hence atoms will either lose electrons or gain electrons. But these were ions of simple elements. There are also ions in your syllabus that are called compound ions. When I talk about compound ions, since we have studied in elements, compounds, and mixtures that compounds are made up of two or more than two elements, hence compound ions will also be made up of two or more than two elements. Examples of a few compound ions are written over here. One such compound ion is sulfate anion. Sulfate anion is SO4 2 minus. Nitrate anion, NO3 minus. Nitride anion, NO2 minus. Sulfide anion, SO3 2 minus. Carbonate anion, CO3 2 minus. Phosphate anion, PO4 3 minus. Ammonium ion, NH4 plus. So these are all the examples of ammonium cation. Compound ions that are in your syllabus, and you need to know these ions in order to solve future calculations. This is about today's video. In the next video, we are going to see ions and ionic compounds. We saw ions in this video. We're going to see ionic compounds and their properties in the next video. Till then, take care everyone. Allah Hafiz.